You think I want to go back to being nobody? You're so dead.
They're just being normal teenage girls.
I'm not dying in this room with you! I'm not dying!
I think she's gone.
It's no secret. I love werewolf movies, and there are not enough good ones out there in my opinion. An American Werewolf in London probably being one of the best werewolf films I've seen. Ginger Snaps, however, is a more unique film in its delivery, and is less about the legend of werewolves like a lot of werewolf films go for, and more about the characters that go through it, and the symbolism it holds in this coming-of-age story. The film stars two sisters, Ginger and Bridget, played by Katharine Isabelle and Emily Perkins. Already I have to point out that you guys might know Katharine Isabelle here as Kat from the Goosebumps episode, It Came From Beneath the Sink. I haven't covered that episode yet in my series, but believe me, when I do, I won't shut up about this movie. And Emily Perkins here was also Becky, the superfan in the show Supernatural, a show that I admittedly watched all 15 seasons of. Together, these two are the Fitzgerald sisters, a couple of outcasts who have a sick enjoyment for death, and even go as far as to recreate horrible deaths with makeup and props. They even take pictures of these for a school project. Yeah, these girls are a little weird. Still, they deal with problems that your everyday kid would deal with, like crushes, teachers, creepy janitors, and bullies. While all this is going on, the town that they are living in is dealing with a rash of local dog killings. One night, when Ginger and her sister decide to get revenge on a local bully by kidnapping their dog, Ginger gets her period and the smell of blood attracts the creature that's been causing the maulings. They manage to get away thanks to a stroke of luck, but Ginger manages to get herself bitten when the creature originally attacked. The following day, Ginger begins to go through some changes in her personality. She becomes more confident, stronger, and gains an allure that attracts some of the local boys. The concept of lycanthropy in the film symbolically functions as the burgeoning of adulthood as our bodies and minds change in the teenage years. Come on guys, I don't need to spell this out for you, do I? In essence, this film is a coming-of-age story with elements of body horror and gore. Where the film really shines to me is the characters, the effects, and the overall tone of the film. Thanks to this role alone, I firmly believe that Katharine Isabelle is an underrated actor. She gives a very great performance for this role, and her physical and personal transformation as the film goes on sticks in your head. You'll notice a change in body language as she becomes more wolfish and more violent. You can feel her pain. She becomes conflicted with herself and slowly loses who she used to be. She works really well with Emily Perkins here, who at first I wasn't a real fan of as a character, but she grew on me as the film went on as we get to see the bond she shares with her sister. A good chemistry between your two leads will always help in the end, and in here, it works really well. As for other characters, there's not too much to say. I did enjoy the mother character near the end, as her character and performance were interesting to say the least. But as for other characters, not many stand out. The effects for this film are really great as well. I don't mind when they do CGI effects for werewolves in werewolf films, because usually I find that werewolves with practical effects look really damn awful. But this film has to be the one exception. The effects for the werewolves and Ginger's metamorphosis are really good looking, especially near the end when the transformation is at its peak. As for the tone of this film, it's pretty goth. It's a 2000s movie, and because of that, it's going to have that typical post-grunge butt rock vibe to it. All 2000s movies with teenagers seem to have that sort of vibe in it, but I don't know why, but I've always found that very nostalgic to me. And because of that, I really dig the aesthetics of this film. I'm aware that that might dissuade a few people from seeing this, and I'll just let you know right here that it's not as prevalent as some films have done, so you've got nothing to worry about. For once, I don't really have too much to complain about in this movie, besides a few minor nitpicks, but for the most part, they're so minor that they're not even really worth mentioning. Ginger Snaps is a decent film worth checking out if werewolf stories are your thing. There's also 2 sequels that are also pretty good and worth checking out as well. Ginger Snaps 2 Unleashed is actually one of my favorite horror movie sequels, and I might cover it one day if this video gets enough attention. If you're interested in checking out the Ginger Snaps trilogy, you can easily watch the films on YouTube and FilmRise for absolutely free.